I'm really super excited about today's class, and we have a really special guest, and three special guests, but one who's particularly special. And this is one of those classes where you know how Such 118 rolls. I'm always trying to talk about things that many of us here haven't thought about. And today is one of those things in particular that is going to talk about some stuff that we really haven't thought about and haven't engaged with, and we need to. And so we shall, and that's what we're going to do. And the title of today's class is Catch the Korean Wave. And we're going to start by, first off, I need a volunteer. I need maybe a couple volunteers from Korea who, I know I got you. How about, we know you're rocking. Bro. What's your name, man?
My name's Ruben.
Ruben, here. Ruben? What's your Korean name?
Woojin.
Woojin?
Yeah.
How did I do?
Say it again.
Woojin.
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 Yeah, that's
close
better.
enough?
Yeah.
You're not really, I'm sure, but bro, next slide. Can you answer this question? Korea is cool.
Korea is cool because
Yo, wait, hang on, we're starting.
We got kimchi, we got K-pop, we got bulgogi, we got good shit.
Dude, first off, hang on. Good shit. Wait, how do you say good shit in Korean?
Good shit in Korean. I don't know actually.
How do you say we got good shit?
Yo, I'm blanking. Hold up. Can I give like a slang version?
Yeah, slang version.
There's 멋있다, or like. Hold up.
Like, imagine your grandmother is watching, so don't say anything.
Okay. My grandma's watching. Yeah. We got good shit in Korea.
Okay.
우리 한국에 좋은 거 있습니다. 한국 좋아요.
Yeah. Listen, what he just said right there is we're actually going to take over the world. So. Hey, listen. So, what's kimchi? Help us out.
Kimchi's it's a traditional food. It's made with lettuce and like spices and it's like.
Dude,
red.
lettuce or cabbage?
Oh, cabbage.
Sorry, let me help you out, my friend. All right.
Thank you.
What else, man? What else you got?
We also have some pretty cool like traditional culture. Like we got dramas, K-dramas.
Yeah. What's K-dramas?
Yeah.
As in Korean. So when you say K, the K before, so folks who don't know, you just use that as like Korean
it
drama.
Stands for Korean, yeah.
So when you say K-pop,
Korean pop music.
Got you.
Yep.
Okay. What's a K-drama?
K-drama. Well, there's a lot of versions of it, but the most popular one I'd say is the rom-com, romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it special? Like when you say it's cool, Korea's cool because, like, what's special about that?
We got good-looking dudes and good-looking girls.
Yeah.
Performing dramatic scenes on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like they're thinking if it's not porn, like what's the point?
No. We actually don't have that. It's actually banned in Korea.
Banned in Korea?
Yeah.
Porn is?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No, it's banned.
Is that why? Oh, never mind. All right. So what else you got? How about like technology? Like what else is like really awesome?
Give me help.
Like okay, you said K-pop. So what's cool about K-pop?
K-pop. Special effects.
Yeah.
Cool dance groups. I think we have KPMD coming up next.
Yeah.
Those dances are real cool.
A lot of dance.
Yep.
Yep. So if you were to try to convince Penn State students to go to Korea for a study abroad instead of going to like London or Paris or whatever, what would you say in 2 sentences?
Okay, one thing. Penn State has a partnership with Yonsei University. That's one of the top 3 universities in Korea. So you get to study there if you do a study abroad.
People speak English?
Yeah, they're all good at English.
Yeah.
They have an English course like in Korean high school.
So you could go there and you could go if you don't speak any Korean and
Yeah,
you could study
exactly.
abroad.
Yep.
Dude, all right, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What's your
Nice
name?
job.
Dr.
I'm Sam.
Sam.
Just Sam.
Sam. Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam. Yeah. Dr. Richards. People call me lots. After this third quiz, people probably have a lot of names for me. But hey, wait, let's bring
Hold on. On the chat, they said Korean tacos.
Korean tacos.
Yo, these things look freaking awesome.
Yo, they do look awesome. Man. Korean tacos. Hey, Joy, can you come out? So y'all have met Joy. Joy is one of our stream producers. Yo, what's up? Who also is a hipster fan of Korea. So answer that question. Korea is cool because.
Makeup. I like Korean style makeup. It's a little bit different, softer. What else are you cool for? Colors.
Wait,
flowers.
do you use Korean style makeup?
No, this is not it.
All right, but you like it.
Yes.
So you like it, but you don't use it.
I noticed. I mean, like Korean people are really distinctive, or at least from me, to my eyes, like on campus. You could tell when you see the Chinese students, Japanese students, and the Korean students. There's just a different type of style. I appreciate the fashion, I think. Not that it's made for me
Yeah.
as a bigger person, but I like it.
So you like the makeup, you like the fashion. Mm-hmm. Think it's
Food's
hip.
great.
Yeah. What else?
Skincare.
Dude, yeah, you were talking about that the other day.
Yes. Or fairness. We were talking about if we were going to talk about colorism today, but I'll save that for however you're going to execute class today.
Music.
Oh yes, music. I mean, that's pretty much it. I was one of those people that eat, sleep, and breathe K-pop and K-dramas, and just like had the merchandise, learned to dance, had our OTPs, just like in it.
So do you watch K-dramas?
Yeah,
Yeah. Subtitle.
of course.
And what is it about them that you like?
Kind of like telenovelas, like Korean, like K-dramas have their own dramatic shit. Like, it's their own. It has their own style. There's just something about it that kind of pulls you in. And specifically with certain ones, like popular ones, or at least years ago, like Boys Over Flower, the appeal is like the way their superstars are in everything. So acting is one of them. So it's just one of those additional ways where as a fan, a fanatic, you get to just absorb something that has their face in it, I think.
Dude, cool, man.
When you're obsessed. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, cool. I was really curious to hear what you would have to say on that. Yo, you can give her a serious clap. It's awesome. Not for that. Also because she's just rocking the live stream. Okay. So let me show you something here. The numbers. I know you don't like numbers, but I want to show you this. Look, Korea. I'm going to tell you why I think you should pay attention to Korea. Why it would be really wise, and why it would be really wise if you're thinking about looking forward in the world. If you want to be forward-looking and not backward-looking, you pay attention to Korea. You pay attention to China. You pay attention to the East. And it's just amazing, quite fascinating how for somebody like me who's really interested in world history and is interested in the rise and fall of nations and cultures and the rise and the fall and the rise and the fall, I am 100% convinced that the next rise is in the East. It's in Southeast Asia. No question about it. And if I had children, my children would be studying about Korea and China. They'd be learning Korean. They'd be learning Mandarin. I would be sending them to study abroad in Seoul, not to Rome, not to Paris, not to London. I would be, listen, go for it. You want to be part of the future of the world? You go east. Think East. Imagine East. If I were running a university, these would be the language programs that would be blowing up. These would be the cultural programs, the things that we'd be studying, because I'd want my students to be looking forward. Look, let me just show you a couple of things. I know we don't like numbers. GDP, gross domestic product. So this is the sum total of all the finished goods and services that come out of a country. The finished goods and services, including things that are sold internally and that are sold externally. And let me show you this. In 1965, in the UK, the GDP in the UK was $100 billion. In South Korea, it was $3.1 billion. South Korea was a poor country. Like poor. The GDP in Ghana in 1965 was higher. The GDP in Algeria in 1965 was higher than in South Korea. The GDP in Malaysia, in countries all over the world that I could list them out and you would say, wow, those are really poor countries, were higher than in South Korea. In 2019, the GDP in the UK is 2.8 trillion, and in South Korea, it's actually about 1.6 trillion. South Korea blew up. Things happened in a really, really serious way. Probably in the history of the world, in my study, in my understanding of the world, there's never been a country that has been able to do what South Korea has done economically. Never has happened. And if you want to it's just like thinking about where the future is. You don't go backwards. If I said, hey, we want to think about the future of energy. And here's what we need to do. We need to reopen a bunch of coal mines in the United States. You'd be thinking, man, you're like looking backwards. In fact, you're looking so backwards, you're looking inside of a closet somewhere. And what are you talking about, coal mines? That's not the future of energy in the world. And you want to know what the future of technology and commerce and moving forward, you start looking in this direction. Utterly fascinating. Dude, I have nothing in particular. There's nothing about Korea or China or anything that I feel like somehow connected to. I'm an American. I'm just a person that's looking at this stuff. So here, let me show you one thing. So the Koreas, how many of you have heard of this word? Whoa, okay. So you're going to get something today. So the Koreans did something really, really fascinating. First off, just in terms of commerce, right? You know Samsung, right? So that's a Korean company, LG, Korean company. I mean, we can go Hyundai. I mean, there are all sorts of car technology companies. So it's all Korean. In 40 to 45 years, 50 years, that has happened. Okay? But the Koreans also had some other idea. And they said, look, we can try to compete in the world economically. But, we got to go up against some countries that are way further advanced than we are. And we're going to take a risk if we put all of our eggs in that basket. And we can do that. It'll be really interesting, and we'll probably go much further than we would if we didn't do anything. But it's still a bit of a risk. But there's one area of the world where we could exert our power in ways that nobody's necessarily looking, and it's a wide open space. So the automobile industry is really dominated by a small group of people. The Americans, the Europeans, the Japanese, by the time you get to the 1970s and so on. The electronics industry, okay, we can start busting into that a little bit, but there are all these other clothing industries, all sorts of. But the one industry that we could bust into is the cultural industry. And so I had this idea. This is a Chinese word, and it means literally Korean wave. And what the Koreans said was, you know what we could do? We could put our energy into culture, selling culture and getting other people to consume culture, including consume our culture. And we'll focus on television, we'll focus on music, we'll focus on movies, we'll focus on any number of things that we can where we can put our energy and we'll sell it to the world. And that's wide open because people are going to consume the kinds of things that are really interesting to them. And so the Koreans did that. They started what's called the Korean wave, which is where, so if you have the idea that, like this guy, the singer Psy, or all these K-pop bands, this idea that this just emerged out of nowhere, it didn't emerge out of nowhere. It was a very distinct, concerted effort on the part of the Korean government and the Korean people to push these ideas in this culture out around to the rest of the world and get the rest of the world to consume and to buy it. So they would do things like the telenovela, the Korean version of the telenovela, right? And the Korean version of the television shows and the series, to not just direct them to the world, but actually focus their energy very specifically on certain parts of the world where the rest of the entertainment industry wasn't focusing, like other parts of East Asia, like parts of Eastern Europe, Africa, even South America, and moving forward, not just translating or using subtitles, but actually directing, making series, making videos, making programs that are directly for particular audiences, as a way to get those audiences to buy in, giving people things that they'd never had before and never seen before. And so something like K-pop didn't just emerge out of nowhere. It was years and years and years of very careful crafting and very careful movement forward. Utterly fascinating. And now it's this global phenomenon that people all over the world are consuming and buying and being fascinated by. And it happened just like this. Like even, so the one of the K-pop bands, BTS, was at the music awards last year. And, 3 years ago, I came into this class and I said, hey, how many of you know BTS? And 10 hands went up in the air. And then last year, after BTS was at the music awards in the United States, about a month later I came into the class and I said, hey, how many of you have heard of BTS? And almost the entire class raised their hand. And that's how quickly this stuff happens. And so there's a movement, this Hallyu, the Korean wave. Have you ever been on the ocean? I was saying this a little bit earlier today. You ever been at the ocean and you're sort of getting up out of the water and you turn your back on the sea? You never turn your back on the sea, y'all, right? You never turn your back on the sea, but you do, and you're sort of standing on the edge and you're not noticing, and waves will just come crashing over you and knock you over and throw you up on the shore. There's a certain sense in which that's what's happening and has been happening in the world for the past 20 plus years. This Hallyu, this Korean wave, has just been sort of pounding up, and people aren't really paying attention. And so when I said earlier, if I had a child and I was really interested in my child doing some creative and interesting things in the world, I would be saying, look, you got to focus your energy in that direction. Don't look backwards. Go in that direction. And, but we got a lot. That's my just opening today to say where we're going to go. So here, take a look at this dude, man. Right? Hey, how do you pronounce his name, by the way? Baekhyun? Baekhyun. So look at this guy here, right? So there's this movement in pop, in Korean pop, of male features. This dude's cool. Men, right? Men in here, right? This dude is a dude that Korean women find really sexy and handsome. Got it? Here's a dude. And so look at him. Look at what he's got. Makeup. So we got makeup. We have dyed hair. We have soft features. Right? We have lips that are pronounced. You got to see that. And there are a lot of dudes right now here, let me show you another one. Here we go again. Got it? Yo, you got all this, and look at here. And you got the abs. All this. Got to have the abs. Because that's the macho thing, right? So here's the deal. You ready? I'll often show photos. So this is a K-pop star. This is one of the K-pop dudes. Okay? Who's cool? This is my test, by the way, for you all, to see whether it's like, hang on a second, am I going to like close my vision down, or am I going to say, what the heck is going on in the world? Am I going to close my vision, or am I going to say, what is going on in the world that I don't see and maybe I don't understand? So this dude is like the classic K-pop guy, right? And if you look at all these K-pop stars and one after another, you see these photos and you see the guys are all the same and they're handsome. They're cute and they're handsome. And they're considered to be really, really attractive, and not just by 18-year-olds and 15-year-olds, but by 30, 40, and 50-year-olds. It's like, dude, this is it. And so what it means is, in the West, you can be a guy in the West and be thinking, yeah, no, that's not really cool. That's like really uninteresting, and I'm not interested in that, and like, I don't know, that's kind of like corny, or like, whatever it is. And here you got, let me just walk you through something, men. You got a movement in the world called K-pop, driven by a culture that is unlike any culture we've ever seen in the world, where the essence and the style of masculinity, of cool guys, cool men, are guys like this. What makes you think that this dude isn't going to be the style in the United States in 30 years? What makes you think that you're going to have kids, that you won't have kids? Or imagine this, that you have boys and your girls come home and this is the kind of guy they're interested in. Or here, this is a Chinese band, 2017, one of the up and coming Chinese groups. Dude, they're all changing. Look at these dudes. Y'all, China, my friends, China. This could be very well be the future of masculinity here in the United States. And you think like, oh, no. And I'm like, listen, my friends, here we are. And if you think like, no, that's not possible because we're still into macho-ness and beards and so on. It's like, remember this, the Korean wave, you're standing on the shore, you got your back to the ocean, and the Korean wave might be ready to just knock you over because you have no idea of what's coming. It's awesome, man. So here, this is BTS. This is the band that really has put K-pop on the charts. Look at these guys. All the dyed hair. They're cool, man. They're cool. This is the future. It's not the macho dudes and their like tough tattoos and whatever. This is the future. Utterly fascinating. So we're going to come back to this because I want to have a conversation about it later. But imagine, so women in here who are not part of Korean or Chinese culture, let's say Korean culture, if you were, those are the dudes who you'd find amazingly attractive. How many women in here already think like, oh, those guys, they're hot, this is it? How many women in here? No, raise your hands really loud. How many guys in here? Raise your hands. Dude, my God. MK, this is the point, right? Hang on a second, hang on. Yo, hang on, you ready? First off, I love the awkwardness. Because the awkwardness indicates something. And the awkwardness, because look, I don't care one way or the other. I'm a sociologist who steps back and observes trends in the world. And I'm going to put my money on the idea that this trend, where these men represent the future of masculinity in many parts all over the world, is probably very likely to happen. And then I say, how many of you, so let's do it again. So ready, bro? I want you to scan the room with the camera. So we're going to go on yellow. All right, team? How many of you, raise your hands again, find these men to be particularly attractive? Raise your hands. Yo, okay. Awesome. It's like 20 people. Dude, 20 people. That's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, how many of you listen to K-pop? Really? Oh my God. Dude. Okay, we're going to do a performance. So if the KPMD can come down and get ready.
Yo, and stream team, turn down the audio, please.
What's that? Them again, that was awesome. Man. That's what I really like about teaching this class is just meeting students who are doing really cool things and having the opportunity to really watch and observe and be part of it and introduce you, other people, to phenomena that are happening that we don't necessarily know. You know, it's like you don't even know there's this thing called, most of you don't know there's this thing called the Korean wave. And it's crashing over. It's going to crash over. And it's you know, it's things like climate change. It's things that we don't think about as this is there. It's happening. And just because we don't pay attention to it because we're living in sort of a small, isolated world doesn't mean that in other parts of the world things are being transformed in ways that we just don't understand and we won't understand until it hits us too late. One of the other reasons that I enjoy teaching this class is because I get to meet some really, really awesome people. And one of these awesome people is with us today, as you've met a few of them throughout the semester, but this is particularly cool for me because I do have an interest in Korea. And MK Kim is a best-selling author. Best-selling author, many, many books, motivational speaker, and I've been watching many of her videos in the past couple of weeks and been absolutely fascinated by the message. And it's a visionary. And when I say visionary, I mean someone who is looking into the future and seeing things that other people aren't seeing, which is what I'm really trying to get us to think about today. And a life coach and a CEO. And this was from her television program from a few years ago. But MK Kim is recognized and discussed as the Oprah Winfrey of Korea, which is a really big deal, as you can imagine. So, MK, welcome to Social 119.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Nice to meet you guys. Bye. 안녕하세요. 한국말입니다.
Hey,
You don't know Korean?
can you believe it?
안녕하세요. Okay.
Hey,
So-
can you teach me the bow? Actually, I feel like I should
Yeah,
know that.
안녕하세요. It's nice to meet you. So, okay, say it together. 안녕하세요. Okay, that's good.
But,
So
but the
good.
bow part, how is it? It's bowing.
But it's like this, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
come on,
Okay,
help me out.
Come
I'm
on
gonna
here.
wait
Come on
now.
here. I teach
Okay.
you. Then straight here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the center. This is center. No.
Okay.
No. Okay. So your back. Okay. Okay, like this. Okay.
Dude, what do I
that's
do
right.
with my hands? My hands.
Your hands?
Yeah.
Here.
One here. Here. How's that?
Don't push your belly. Yeah. Thank you very much. You are very cute.
Hey, so
Okay.
yeah.
Can I introduce myself?
Please
okay,
do.
Okay. It's okay. So nice to meet you. I'm MK Kim. My name is MK Kim. I'm motivational speaker and author and YouTuber in Korea.
Oh, I forgot to mention that.
So my channel is this. Yeah, MKTV. Please don't forget subscribe. Okay.
Listen, wait.
NKTV.
She has over 800,000, almost 900,000
Oh, yes,
subscribers,
right.
which is major, man. So
But mostly, yeah, Korean subscriber, because I don't, yeah, I started speaking and studying English just 2 years ago. Yeah, so I'm just 56 years old woman. Sorry. So my friend said you are too old to make a new career. But I've been thinking about, I'm as a motivational speaker, and I've been giving a lecture for the last 27 years. So I've been thinking about what would be my next challenge, my next career. So I think, okay, I'm going to become an international motivational speaker. Not only Korean people, for the international people, I'm going to share my energy and my idea. So I just decided to study English. But my friend said, no, forget about it. You're too old to be fluent in our age. So I said, no, you forget about it. It's me I'm talking to. So, so I studied English every day. Thank you. So I tell you, how can we, Sam and meet here together? Probably your curiosity, how we met together. So it was about 6 months ago. I'm a big fan of BTS. You know, BTS is really great boy band group. It's not just an ordinary boy band group, you know. Then BTS, you know, how long time they are practicing their performance? 16 hours a day. It's amazing. 16 hours a day. They practice every day. So their success is not just it has come from their physical labor. So many people ask me, what is the most fascinating thing in Korea? You're talking about Korean cool. What is cool about Korea? I think the most fascinating thing in Korea is the working very hard. We have a dream, just like me. No, BTS they have a dream. Was a musical career when they were just 12 years old, 13 years old. It's teenagers, it's just kids. But they have dream of, okay, I'm going to be a very global star and music career. And then they trained 16 hours a day, even they were very young and kids. That is the most fascinating thing in Korea, you know, that he said in 1965 or 1960, the Korea is the most poorest country. We are poorer than Philippines and any Eastern Asian country. But now the Korea is the most great country in terms of IT, yeah. What kind of electronic goods do you have in your house? LG, right? And Samsung. So that is the most fascinating thing. So, okay, let me tell you about the short story. And then I'm a big fan of BTS, so I'm watching a YouTube video, all the related to BTS. Then I come up, some particular video clip come up to me. It's him. He's talking about, did you see that video clip? Did you watch that? Oh, yeah. So, and then he was talking about BTS and Asian Cole. And then he was talking about something. But he's looks like a little weird professor, no? He's just like jumping and running around all of this auditorium, and then come up the student over here like that and yelling and screaming. So it's full of weird, man. So
And here I am.
But you're great. So, I watched his lecture video clip, and then, oh yeah, he's really attractive to me. No, I mean, his brain, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Only your brain. Okay, so I'm sorry. All right. So I just decided to, okay, I'm going to meet him and talk to him. Yeah. So, and I wrote an email to him, and he said, oh, why not? You just come. Yeah. So I really appreciate to, have myself together here today. So, yeah. Then we met and talking a little bit. We talked a little bit, but I think we are the same style. Yeah, we say
You're a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm a little weird.
I like you.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're similar.
Yeah, we are similar. Yeah. So, thank you very much. 감사합니다.
So, you're awesome, by the way. Tell me about. I made the statement. So I think when Americans, especially men, see young men like the K-pop stars and like BTS,
Okay.
I feel like there's just a strange. There's a lot of awkwardness and nervousness. And whenever I say, listen, half of the world thinks that these young men are really sexy and cool and handsome, and not the man that you're trying to be or that you wish you were. I think there's a lot of nervousness. And so we were talking just about these young men and about how they are handsome and so on. So how do Korean women see them? We talked about this just briefly. Like, do Korean women your age see all these stars also as really handsome and so on?
I think there's no women to be nervous about handsome men.
Yeah.
That BTS is something like that man in Korea. It's a very beauty, and then handsome.
Yeah.
You know why many Korean women really like that kind of handsome? Because we are suffered from many conservative men for a long time. Can you understand that? We have we don't have gender equality.
Yeah,
For a long time,
yeah.
our history. Yes, a man is always we always
Just like a really macho.
Yes, we are told men are heaven,
Yeah.
women are land.
Yeah.
Women are very high, women are very low. Yes, so the woman always must do something for men. So, but 30 or 40 years ago, then we just change it because parents think, parents thought it's just to change it. Maybe we have two children. Yeah, the son here and the woman here. The daughter here, the son is not good at getting education. It's not always he's not interested in learning something. Always just like you, maybe you were 12 years old, 13 years old. You are not interested in any study. Okay? Just like you. Yeah? Then before, many parents just focus on the son and put their money invest. On only the son, but now it's different. It changed. Yeah, we invested the daughter, so the women are educated very well, so we can get our power from this conservative society. So this is so.
So the idea is that women increasingly in Korea are saying we don't want to get our power from men who are really aggressive and macho, and we want to get our power from somewhere else, including ourselves.
Yeah, they're the way from the macho.
Yeah.
So
they're
that's
completely
why
opposite.
we really liked this kind of beauty and handsome.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So most of your work, by the way,
What?
I think there's a shift coming in the United States also. I really do in this sort of world about what men and women in particular, straight women are attracted to. And I think it's much more like this than the macho man in the US. I think it's very similar. I think that Korea, just so as Korea is doing in lots of other ways, is leading the way, is opening up some possibilities that we are not seeing. And I just think that the children of the students who are in this class are going to see some things very, very differently. So can we stay with women for a second? So you do a lot of motivational speaking for women.
Yeah.
In Korea. What
Yeah.
is your primary message to women in Korea? What are you really trying to show?
Just make your money. That is my topic.
And what do you mean
Don't
by
spend your husband's money. Just make your money, spend your money. That is you can control your life. That is my topic. So, okay, I want to talk this topic.
Yeah.
So, probably in the United States, this kind of money existed. No, there are so many women who are looking for rich men. Right? They want to get married, the men who have money. But, that just a 25 years old man, 80 years old man, they don't have money because they have no time to make money. So many women want to looking for the rich man. It is kind of illegal for life.
Yeah.
You know? It's unfair.
Yeah.
They don't have time to make money. So I always say that it's joke. It's kind of joke. If you really want to get married with a rich man, then just take a 40 or 50 man.
A man who's 40 or 50.
Yeah, you have money, huh?
Yeah.
Because you have time to make money.
I have time to make
Only
money.
now,
Only now, though. When I was in my 20s, I didn't have any money.
Yeah. So,
When I was in my 30s, I had no money. I only now start to have money.
So if women want to man's money just freely, then there is no gender equality. I think so. That's my.
So wait, the idea though, let me be clear about what you're saying. So historically in Korea, women really depended upon men for their position in society and for things. And so women could only, because women didn't earn money, they had to wait for their men to make money. We're talking about straight people, right? They had to wait for men to make money and then ask the men, their husbands, for money.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is, look, that keeps you in a position where men are in the sky, in the heavens, and women are on the earth. And so men control everything. And so your message to women is to, look, if you want to break out of this, you have to go make your own money. And don't wait for men and don't rely on men.
So in addition, money is not only money.
Yeah.
Okay. If I make money, then I walk into the world for economically. So there's a company, I'm going to make a conversation or communication with the man or some people. So there is the power, not only money. Okay?
Yeah.
There's the power of life.
Yeah.
So if you want to have your power, then if you want to take your control, the power of control, then you must close to the, place of power. That is the right thing.
So it's not just, so you're not talking about just making money to have money to go buy random things. You're talking about establishing a position of
there
power.
are many things, power involved, your power involved. Yeah.
So your message to women then is to develop, strengthen your power.
Yeah. So work. Just work.
Work.
Yeah, work.
Work.
So many
16
husbands,
hours
yeah,
a day.
the Korean husband really like me. Oh yeah, this is because I motivate their wife to work. That's why. It's
Yeah.
funny. Huh?
No, that's actually really, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not, even though women subscribe to your, are really very fascinated and love your work, your books, your YouTube channel, it's actually the men who benefit also.
Yeah, I'm a kind of a role model for Korean women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are, totally. And you were telling me on the way over here, you come from the countryside.
This is, you guys, this is my first public speech in English today. So, thank you very much. Yeah.
Look,
I'm a little bit very nervous. No,
listen.
no, it's that my grandma is totally sucks. No, I know that, but I think the language is not only problem. It's not the issue. BTS, they don't speak English, but they delivering their messages to all of the world. So the matter is the energy.
Yeah.
And passion to have a communicate with you guys. There's a passion and willing is the most important thing than language skill.
MK, you're doing a couple talks in LA, right? I mean, she's giving talks here in the US to the Korean American community, and like 1,000 people will show up to the talk. So this is big.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I couldn't get 1,000 people to do anything, but unless they were forced to come for a class. Hey, let's have a. Can we just talk about something that I think is really? We talked about it briefly, and it's this graph here, or this, and I was saying that. Before we talk about it, I just want to say what I've done in the past, which is bring a student from China or Korea out and an American student out and stand them in front of the class without being able to see this. And then I ask them questions to see how true this actually is, to how much the American students, I'll ask them, hey, for example, so do you play any musical instruments? And they'll say, yeah, guitar. And it's really funny. This was really funny one time. Yeah, I play guitar. Oh, really? Are you any good? Oh, yeah, I'm really, really good. How long have you been playing? Oh, about 6 months. Like, oh, okay. And then I asked this Chinese woman, or I think she was Korean. I said, so what musical instruments do you play? And she said, oh, I play the violin. Oh, the violin. Are you any good? Underestimate ability. No, not really. I'm not very good. Oh, how long have you been playing the violin? Oh, since I was 3 years old. Oh, really? How often do you practice? Well, for a while I was practicing 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. But no, I'm really not very good. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I want you and I to talk about this a little bit. Talking about how Americans, in particular in the West, we really, for us, it's about being the best. It's about being, getting the world to see us. We want the world to see us as good as they can, better than other people. I want the world to see me as special. I want to be special. I want to, really show the world that I have a lot of talent. And, this is the way we teach our children here in the United States. Everybody's special. You are special. You need to see that, and see that when you look in a mirror. So tell me about in Korean culture, how is this different?
It's a little different. I tell you a little short story about my we just say sister. I'm sorry, how old are you? Yeah, how old? 18? 18? Okay. 18. Okay. Then hold my sister. It's not family, but we just say sister. You just say sister. Yeah. That's the Korean culture. It's the whole family ship. The BTS is very close together. They sometimes sleeping together. Then maybe Western culture said, oh my God, they're sleeping on one bed. Then probably, it's weird, yeah?
Yeah.
But the Korean culture is okay because they are family ship. So all brother and it's brothership, yeah? Family ship. It's Korean culture.
So there's like a real connection.
Yeah, real connection.
So in the West, we want, if this is this whole group here in the United States, if I have a child who's in this room, I want my child to be really special and stand out, to not be like everybody else. I want you need to show everyone that you're special. But in Korean culture, that's not it.
It's all my son. It's all my children like that. Yeah, it's family ship we have.
So when your children, if your children do something that's really, really special, do you not go on Facebook and tell the whole world and say, oh, my daughter just did something?
But my children is really precious to me, but yeah, we are consider another son is just like my son. Yeah. That's a family ship.
So if you start talking about how special your son is, well, what about the sons of other people?
Yeah.
So
just
that
treat as my son. Yeah.
so if you elevate your son,
Yeah.
then you're putting them down,
No.
and you don't want to do
No,
that.
yeah,
You keep it.
Just equally. So I tell you something. She's just as my sister. She's 36 years old now. She working in New York, some company, and then working for some company. And then she said, when she met some American people, they are always overestimated their ability. So, and then we have some, introduce men and women and then dating, before dating. And then he always said he introduced himself. I'm graduated at this university. My income is this much. And then
I'm really handsome.
It's like that. He is kind of promoting himself to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but Western culture like that, but the Oriental culture, the Eastern culture, not like that. We don't say like that, just, we don't say, we are not gonna say about the income. Never.
Yeah.
No.
And here, income is, we put it even on Facebook and stuff, right? It's really, really important.
What?
We talk about income all the time here. Students will talk about how much money they just are going to make at a company. And
you're gonna show your income in public?
yeah.
No.
Yeah, because then not everybody. But
I can make this much money in public, SNS?
well, what it does for us in the West, it raises us up. So if, for example, if my class knows if my class knew how much money I made, it would actually decrease my value to them because I don't make that much money. But if I did make a lot of money, then they would see me as more special. If I made a lot of money and I tell them, hey, look, I make a lot of money, then they would say, oh, Sam, you're really special. Yeah, so people talk about money all the time.
Maybe tax office get you then.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so
it's kind of rude.
it's rude.
Yeah, it's kind of rude. Yeah, maybe some people talk and overestimate himself to other people. It seems like a little bit rude. So we just don't do like that.
So in the U.S., the word we use for that is bragging. So how does that affect Korean culture? So this is really interesting, right?
Okay.
So I want to go back. The idea of Hallyu. How do you say Hallyu again? Teach them how to say Hallyu. Hallyu, Korean wave.
Hallyu?
Wait, say it again. Teach them.
What?
You need to know this word, by the way, because the wave is crashing over. Right?
Han means Korea. Ryu means wave. So Korean wave. Hallyu.
Hallyu.
Hal.
Hal.
The tongue is like L bottom. L. Hallyu.
Hallyu.
Ryu means student. Ryu. Hallyu. Okay, say Hallyu.
Hallyu.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I want gifts. Okay. This the Hallyu is a BTS key holder. BTS key holder. Yeah, thank you very much.
There it is.
What about you? Hallyu.
Hallyu.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, Hallyu. Is there anybody here to pronounce? Okay. Great.
Not the Korean guy. Yo, not Ruben. Don't let Ruben pronounce it.
Hallyu. Hallyu. Okay, see.
Hallyu.
Woo! You are the best. Huh?
We all Hallyu.
한국말, what is?
한국말 할 줄 알아요.
So, anybody here? Hallyu?
I don't know.
Hallyu.
Hallyu.
Yeah, it's okay, but you're great, yeah. Yeah, Hallyu.
So what I find really interesting are these really very, very different ways of being in the world, and how essentially different it is, and how many of us really have no idea that a third of the world or more is seeing the world has learned to not put ourselves out in front, but rather to equalize one another, and that we don't pay attention to that. And I think that is, for me as a sociologist, absolutely fascinating, because I'm a person that wants to understand the whole world. I want to know how it is so that I can really appreciate. So can we talk about another word that
Okay.
well, I want to go back actually to this one. That. Can you teach them this word?
Oh my God. It's really, really difficult to understand.
But this is another really, really key word.
Oh my God.
Think you can do it in 5 minutes?
It is Nunchi. Nunchi.
How many of you have heard of this word?
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
He's Korean.
gonna explain then. Help me. Come on, help me.
We can get Chris too, but
Thank you for saving me.
All right, so Nunchi is like, it's similar to like giving an eye. So nun is basically eye in Korean. All right,
Why are
so
you asking me?
it's like, okay, so it's like giving like reading an atmosphere, or like giving like an insinuation that something's going wrong. So for example, let's say in a workplace, a boss is like giving you a task or something, like a task or a situation, and this one person does not understand the context of the situation, and he's trying to do something his way. So what other people do, when the people who knows the context kind of give them the eye, like give them like the attention to say like a proper way of saying like read the atmosphere, like read the situation right now. It's kind of giving you that spiked eye at a person. It can sometimes be positive, but it's usually more of a negative term.
So it's like a social intelligence.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it really just have to depend on how social you are in a situation. Like,
So when you walk into a room,
Yeah.
you want to have nunchi.
Yeah, it is a social intelligence, but it is always useful for elder people.
Yeah.
So elder or the higher people, okay? No, so you are my maybe teacher. I'm your student. So I went to we went to what is that? Meeting room?
Yeah.
The meeting room. Yeah, his professor, and he was just went into that meeting room. That student just lay down.
No, this is how my student was in the room.
Yeah, in the
laying
room,
like this.
like this.
And he said,
But-
"Oh, hey Sam, how are you?"
Yeah, he just said, "Hello, Sam." It's, oh my God, he's nunchi. It's no nunchi. That's the different. So our culture, we have always nunchi for the maybe a professor, maybe elder people, or the assistant, or what's the manager? Yeah.
it's like finding form of respect. There's
Form of respect, right,
There's
yeah.
a lot of respect that goes around.
And understanding what's happening.
It's respect and expectation
Yeah.
from the others. Like, can I give like another example? Like, let's say someone this higher person enters a room, and he says, like he's looking really thirsty, like he wants kind of like a drink, but they don't say it outright. They're gonna be like people ask him first, it's like, oh, do you want something to drink? And then the higher person is like, they have like a posture. They say, oh, I don't want to. No, it's okay. I'm good. I don't want to drink. It's okay. And then you just kind of sit down. People who has nunchi, who can read the situation right, don't even ask, gets the drink for them. That is having fast reflexes. That is knowing what the other person wants or likes.
I had nunchi today because we went to Margarita's Pizza, and I ordered the pizza, and I paid for it, and you didn't even know I paid for it, and we took care of it, and it was all done. Because out of just respect. So that was nunchi, right?
That's nunchi. Yeah,
I
you
read
had
the
good
situation.
nunchi. Yeah, you had a really good nunchi.
Oh, I'm killing it. Hey, listen, does anybody have... No. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There, nunchi. You like that?
I
Thanks,
like
man.
that. 감사합니다. 네. 한국말 하세요. 할 줄 알아? 그럼 잠깐만. 여기 있잖아.
So listen,
책 줄게요.
first up,
네.
So I have an announcement to make before everybody leaves. But MK, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
It's really
Thank you inviting me and to have this really great opportunity.
it's an honor to have you here.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. So one thing that you So two situations. The TA interviews are happening once again this weekend, or the intro facilitation interviews are happening.
Sign up soon.
We need more people to sign up. So I'm going to send the email out again.
If you have any interest at all and you don't want to go on your phone and sign up because it's too much work, come down to the front after class and we'll get you signed up here.
Yeah, it's not much work at all. That's good.
And
Listen,
the stream team. And we also tweeted out her YouTube channel, so go subscribe.
yeah.
And she does English
Thank you very
subtitles,
much.
so
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
감사합니다.